Deductions under UA Corporate Tax Law. Manish Mehta, Bachelor of Laws, CA, CSIRP. Assisted by CA.com HM.com CA. Let's discuss on the following topics. Meaning of deduction. Deductible expenditure. Article 28. Interest expenditure. Article 29. General interest deduction limitation rule. Article 30. Non-applicability of interest capping rule. Entertainment expenditure. Article 32. Meaning of entertainment expenditure. Non-deductible expenditure. Article 33. What are the deductions under UA corporate tax? Meaning of deduction. Tax deduction refers to an amount that can be subtracted from the total taxable income of a taxable person, while calculating the tax liability of such a taxpayer. Taxable income XXX less, deductions XXX income chargeable to tax XXX. Deductible expenditure. Article 28. Expenditure. Deductible expenditure. Article 28. No deduction is allowed for the following. Deductible expenditure. Article 28. If expenditure is incurred for more than one purpose, the deduction shall be allowed for any identifiable proportion or part of the expenditure that is wholly and exclusively incurred to earn taxable income, an appropriate share of any unidentified component of the expenditure incurred in order to earn taxable income that has been calculated on a fair and reasonable basis, taking into account the facts and circumstances relevant to the taxable person's business. Is frame charge a deductible expense for UAECT? Note: freight charges are revenue nature expenditure, and as per Article 28 only capital nature expenditure will be allowed as deduction. Hence freight charges incurred is not allowed as deduction. Interest expenditure. Article 29. Interest expenditure. Why deduction of interest expenditure is up to 30% only? Deduction of interest expenditure is up to 30% only because interest expenses are often used as a means of profit shifting and base erosion, which leads to tax evasion. General interest deduction limitation rule. Article 30. Taxable person's net interest expenditure. Interest expenditure disallowed during the year can be carried forward for the next 10 years. Interest expenditure may be deducted up to 30% from their accounting EBITDA for the applicable tax period. EBITDA or earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization. 9. Star Limited's accounting EBITDA for the FY 2022-23 is $81,000 and company incurred $30,000 as interest expenditure. How much amount of interest expenditure will be allowed as deduction? As per Article 29 of the Decree Law, interest expenditure is allowed as deduction from accounting EBITDA up to 30% of the interest expenditure incurred. Star Limited incurred $30,000 as interest expenditure. Only $89,030,000 asterisk 30% will be allowed as deduction in the FY 2022-23 and remaining amount of AED 21,000, 30,000 to 9,000 will be carried forward for further 10 years. Non-applicability of interest capping rules. Entertainment expenditure ADICL 32. Taxable person may deduct 50% of meaning of entertainment expenditure. Expenditure includes expenses incurred while receiving and entertaining the taxable person's clients, shareholders, suppliers, or other business partners which are not limited to the following: meals, accommodation, transportation, admission fees, required logistics. Non-deductible expenditure ADICL 33. Non-deductible expenditure. Expenditure not incurred for the purposes of the taxable person's business. Non-deductible expenditure. Expenditure incurred in deriving exempt income. Non-deductible expenditure. Losses not resulting from or linked with the taxable person's business. Non-deductible expenditure. Any additional costs incurred in relation to non-deductible expenditure. Will value-added tax paid be deductible for UAECT? Only a recoverable input value-added tax may be deductible for CB purposes. Otherwise, value-added tax charged and value-added tax incurred would not impact the calculation of taxable income. Thank you. Visit me at